Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Trivia Super Game. I'm Mackenzie. I am joined today by the one and only Nick of Slow Start. So excited to have you here, Nick. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's
Such
gonna
a
be fun.
pleasure. Yes. I also want to give a very warm welcome to all of our friends in the chat who are tuning in live. Thank you for joining. We are here to talk 2000s nostalgia. We're going to play some trivia. We're going to give away a fabulous $100 cash prize to the winner of the game. So before we get into it, I'll give a quick reminder about how this whole thing works. So every single day, we run trivia challenges at WatchMojo.com/play. As you play the daily challenges, you earn Mojo points added to your account for stuff like correct answers in a row and inviting friends to join the game and play along with you. You can then redeem those Mojo points for entry into our Friday afternoon super game where we give away $100, which is what we're here to do today. But in honor of our joining forces, this Watch Mojo Slow Start crossover, anybody can join today's trivia game. No Mojo points needed. So if you're here to compete, if you want to play with us, please open another tab, go to WatchMojo.com/play, sign in, and we got about 15 minutes to go. I'm super, super excited. Nick, how are you feeling?
Great. I've never done any trivia show in my life before, so this is a first for me. As I'd imagine it is for many people. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I was
Cool.
going to say no pressure because you cover like 2000s pretty extensively on your channel. You do a lot of like really in-depth researched video essays that are hilarious and awesome. So no pressure, but how confident are you feeling or not?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like a middle of the pack finish is my hope. That's where I'm hoping to go. So if I can get in that area, I'm good. I'm happy.
We're aiming for average. That's a really good strategy.
Yes, mediocrity is what I aim for consistently.
If you keep the bar, keep the goals achievable, you'll never be disappointed.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, so you talk a lot about on your channel different kind of products and different marketing schemes, fails, etc. I want to talk about toys. I want to pick your brain a little bit on this, and to our friends in the chat as well. As a child of the 2000s, what do you think was the weirdest toy of that era?
Man, we had a lot of weird stuff. I can guarantee that. Like thinking about it on the spot, if I had to pick one, Mighty Beans. If I had to just say one right now, just for its origin story, and I learned about it when I was doing research for like another topic, that Mighty Beans were inspired by Mexican jumping beans, which are these beans in the desert that worms find their home in these beans, and they jump inside the bean. It sounds insane, but it's true. It came from nature, so it has a weird backstory.
An organic backstory. So for the uninitiated, how does what you just described translate into a toy form?
Yeah, I mean, so right, exactly. For people
that?
Don't even know what a Mighty Bean is. Yeah, exactly. They put a magnet. Do I have one up here? I don't think I do right now.
Oh, get it.
Yeah, I know. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, I'm going up. One sec. Here we go. Oh man.
I thought for a second that whole shelf was going to collapse, and I'm really glad it didn't.
There was a high chance of failure there. That was actually quite risky.
Stream.
Yeah, I've got a little Mighty Bean here in this package. See, I refuse to take it out of the package for obvious reasons. But
yeah,
you can find a little Mighty Bean in here, and they had magnets inside them, which kind of let them toss around in weird, quirky ways.
Right.
Intensely addictive, collectible, fun. Weird.
That's why you got to maintain the packaging so you can use it to retire later in life.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Sell it on the 2000s nostalgia toy black market.
Yeah, I'm going to liquidate this whole shelf. Everything behind at some point.
I was seeing someone in the chat saying Furbies. Now, I was also aware that there was some debate. Are Furbies a 90s toy or a 2000s toy? To me, it's late 90s, early 2000s. I think it's
That's my understanding of it, because I was born in the late 90s, but I identify as a 2000s kid because that's where most of my childhood was, right?
Yeah.
And I had a Furby. So I'd say it's a crossover. It's one of those rare cases where it's kind of right in between, blurring the lines.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, that was kind of the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about, like, what are the weirdest toys of this era? Maybe a mainstream choice, but to me, the Furbies, it's just like, what is it? What are they? Why are they?
Yeah.
I have a visceral memory of I had one when I was a kid, and when the battery started to go, it would go off at like random times, making these like nightmare fuel like screechy sounds. Like,
Oh, it was
what is
demented. I
that?
remember if it lost the batteries, it would continue in the gibberish voice, but on like 6 octaves below.
It's screaming at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No, it was a freaky toy, but I think the reason it was so weird was kind of the reason it was successful. That doesn't always
Sure.
work, but I think in that case it did wildly. Yeah.
Sure. Well, they're still around. They're still making them. There's like new gen Furby. I don't know if it's a
Yes.
nostalgia thing or if they're young. What do the youngins today connect with about that toy? I'd be curious
I
to know.
know.
I myself don't have the answer.
Yeah. I've seen them. I've seen them around on shelves. They definitely try to bring them back. Yeah.
Tech decks. I'm seeing Vincent Guzman in the chat say tech decks. Are those the little skateboards that you play with your? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can keep going. You just keep naming toys.
Yeah.
I'll
Anybody
keep
name
back.
a toy.
Yeah, exactly. I've got it all. But yeah, no, they were the little fingerboards. Yeah.
Yes.
Never
Could you
any
do
good.
tricks?
Oh yeah, if you were
That's the thing.
half decent. Yeah.
If you were elite. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was better on a regular skateboard ever than I was on a fingerboard, and I wasn't very good at skateboarding in the first place. So.
It just requires more training.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's very similar skill level, I'd say. They're both incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, I'm just going to give a quick little rundown reminder for anyone who's maybe just tuning in, who's just joining us. If that's you, welcome. So we're here to talk 2000s nostalgia. We're going to be playing some 2000s Y2K trivia and giving away a $100 cash prize. Game's going to start in about a little under 10 minutes. So if you want to play with us and against us, please go ahead, open another tab, go to WatchMojo.com/play, sign in, and yeah, like I said, $100. We got a few minutes to go, so keep hanging out with us. It's going to be great. Now, Nick, we could talk about like toys and tech, I think, in this context, like all day and forever. But I kind of want to talk about social media, since we're both kind of like content creators in this space. And I think people our age have kind of grown up with it, but at the same time, seen where it started and how it's going. So just from your perspective, like what was the first kind of like, how long have you been active on social media? What was the first kind of platform you got into?
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the weird things about, just going slightly off topic, but the weird thing about kind of the age group of that late 90s age group is I find that we were one of the first generations to grow up with the internet almost day one. And that was weird because that's pretty much my memory as far as I can remember, I was on the internet. And I think when Facebook came out, I was very, very young, would have been maybe 7 years old, probably got a Facebook around 8 years old, maybe. And yeah, no, Facebook was my first memory. I was never MySpace. MySpace did come before that, didn't it? Yeah, but that was too old for me. But yeah, that was weird. It was my first experience with anything like that, as it was for a lot of people. But the adults who were experiencing it had a completely different experience, I'd imagine, from the kids who were experiencing it at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think, like, because now of course like you work and we both are working on YouTube, but like do you think social media is getting better or worse, like as it's taking over more and more of our lives? Like I'm interested to see what people in the chat think as well.
For sure.
Like,
yeah, like I personally I'd say it's kind of a toss-up, right? It's like one of those things that you can't say is good or bad, I guess, like with so much in technology these days with AI now, what we're talking about, and in social media, it's like there's so many benefits and then there's so many drawbacks at the same time. So I think it's a toss-up. I think for me, the one thing that I'm getting so hung up on is that we're becoming so much more addicted every year. I can feel it from when I was in college, early college in 2016. I remember having an Instagram and I remember everything, but the way the feed has advanced, the idea of the feed on social media platforms is getting so good at keeping you engaged, so good. And it's freaky. I don't know where that's going to be in 10 years time with our immersion level increasing with this kind of thing. It's nuts. I'm totally freaked out, but I'm slightly part of the problem, maybe.
Yeah, so, you're shifting in your seat, and we're also, I mean, we're doing this here now together. I mean, we're doing it. So
yeah, exactly.
But kind of to your point, I mean, something that I feel like I've observed or I've experienced like during that kind of timeline is that in the beginning, it was so like the internet was so about like connecting people from around the world. I think that's something we kind of take for granted now a little bit. That
Yeah.
really this idea that we can connect with anyone on the planet is so powerful. And I feel like it's kind of, as the internet and social media has become more commercialized, that maybe it's becoming more about consuming rather than connecting, seeing and being seen. Like maybe the culture of the internet has just changed in that time so much that I don't know. Like I don't know what it looks like in 10 years, right?
It's almost like that part of it has taken a back seat, like the connecting has
Mm-hmm.
taken the back seat when it was initially about connecting, and
Yeah.
now just the increasing of the monetization of everything
Yeah.
is wild, you know. But there's a lot of great things to it too, you know. I mean, people are have access to create on the internet now, and people who never had the ability to put themselves out there in a way to share things with somebody, it's just getting better and better every year, and the accessibility for that is getting better every year. And as someone who loves to create, like I love that. Like that's my favorite thing about being on the internet, is that people have the chance to just put something out there. That's like my favorite thing in the world. It's cool.
Absolutely. And I think to
Yeah.
find a community for anything, everything has a
Yeah.
community somewhere online. Like that's so
Oh,
powerful.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Literally
crazy.
anything.
Literally anything.
Anything more than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, or would want to imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
would
So,
want to.
yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple minutes left to the game starts. I'll just give a quick refresher of what we're up to here. So, as you may have surmised, we're doing 2000s nostalgia Y2K trivia. We're going to be giving away a $100 cash prize at the end. Today we're giving away, like anybody can join today's game because we're doing this collaboration. We want everybody to participate. Usually for our weekly Friday afternoon super game, you have to cash in some Mojo points to be qualified for the $100 prize. So how you get Mojo points, you just got to keep playing our daily trivia challenges. They happen every single day at 3 p.m. Eastern. So all you got to do, you can play on your phone, just sign in, play the game, and you'll get Mojo points, and you can join next week's trivia super game for another shot at $100. But if you're joining us for the first time, welcome, and we're happy to have you. So anybody who is here to compete is ready to go. Just please open another tab, WatchMojo.com/play, sign in, and we've got about a minute and a half till the game starts. Exciting stuff.
Yes.
Quickly, Nick, I want to ask, and our friends in the chat, picture this. It's 2005. You just got home from school. What are you watching on TV?
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Every day, all day.
Instantly.
Hands down.
You knew right away.
Oh, no doubt in my mind. I think it's one of the best cartoons, period, to ever come out on television, hands down. Obviously, you can't say that without sounding biased, but I really do. Like I remember even talking to my parents about it and picking their brains about it. And my dad, who never grew up with that show, is like, that's a funny show. Like he could tell, like that was a good cartoon, you know? That's cool.
I feel like SpongeBob has some flavor of Looney Tunes to it, but for like our generation, rather than, I feel like there's a connection there. Like my parents both really like SpongeBob, had the same reaction of like, what is this? It's so absurd. And then, but the comedy is gold. I think it's kind of similar that way.
I find it funnier now revisiting it than I did when I was a kid, which is like, I was talking to my brother about that the other day. It's like, that's powerful. Like that, I can 10 years down, it's funnier. Like it's crazy. Yeah. Because you see it from the perspective of the adults almost, like what they were thinking when they made some of the jokes and stuff like that. I think that's
100%. I saw someone shout out the classic Canadian game show, Uh-Oh. Anyone who's not from Canada or our age, I encourage you to look that up on YouTube. It needs to be seen to be believed. Okay, so we got 5, 4, open another tab, WatchMojo.com/play, sign in, and trivia starts now.
Okay.
My Chemical Romance frontman Gerard Way is also known for creating which of these comic books? I was an emo kid in the 2000s, so I know this answer very well.
I was a poser, so I don't.
You're just skinny jeans and
SpongeBob
exactly. And
SpongeBob. And... I'm so emo. I'm gonna go home and watch SpongeBob.
If you're watching SpongeBob, you're too happy to be emo.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero is such a core memory for me of like going to my friend's house after school or whatever, and like sitting in the basement drinking soda playing Guitar Hero.
It is the best. Yeah, I absolutely loved Guitar Hero. Yeah, I play it more these days actually than I did.
Really?
Yeah, I still have the guitars and everything.
How fast can you play FCMPR Remix? Is that what it's called? What's that Fall of Troy song that's like crazy hard?
I don't know. I know Through the Fire and the Flames is the classic one.
You're right.
Yeah.
Or 6, All That Remains. That's also pretty hard.
Right. What is the best-selling game of all time?
That's a tough one.
Trying so hard not to think out loud too. That's bad.
You give away the answer. You're like, oh, I know this one.
Yeah, exactly. Getting excited and blurting it out.
Guys, we've got Rebecca Brayton, the Watch Mojo lady, joining us, and she has a crown on her emoji right now. She came to play. She came to win. So everybody watch out. I like how in her profile picture, the crown sits perfectly upon her head. As it
works
should.
Great. Yeah.
As it should.
Yeah, that's wild.
True or false, the name of the founder of MySpace was John. Now, anyone who had MySpace would have automatically had this person as their first friend on MySpace.
That's true, right? I think I heard about that.
I was a MySpace kid.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I missed the boat on that one.
Okay. Cameron Diaz is a voice performer on which of these movies? Side question, not trivia. Which of these movies do you like the most?
Ooh, Monsters, Inc. Or
Ooh, nice.
Versus Shrek, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, my gut is telling me The Incredibles, I guess.
That's a good one.
But they're all good.
They are, yeah.
There's not a weak one in the pack. Okay. I never had a pager.
Behind. Me neither. No, I'm not that old.
Are you thinking below middle? Are you thinking below
I think I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. The pressure's on and I'm feeling it.
Well, to be fair, we are talking and we're multitasking. These guys are they're in the zone. They're in a cubicle, like fighting to the death for this sweet $100.
Yeah, I think that's mostly it. I think yeah. Oh no. You can have 200 points by now? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh God.
The humanity.
Yeah.
This is a good time to remind everyone that actually the faster you answer, the more points you get. So if you have no idea what's going on, just pick something fast. Rebecca's everybody should be nervous. Rebecca came to play today. I'm seeing some classic trivia players like Smashing, Lucas, Jinbo, Mercs. These guys play all the time. They're crazy good at trivia. And I don't know, Rebecca's got a couple points on Smashing here. It's anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, I saw the leaderboard. There's some people who are clearly kicking ass every day. Like it's pretty cool. Yeah.
What year did Mark Zuckerberg code the first version of Facebook? Think back to the social network.
Oh, thought I had that one.
So we're like 20 years into Facebook, if you want to feel old. Anyone?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard someone call it that Facebook was going through a midlife crisis, and I was like, that's
wild.
That's exactly what's happening. Yeah.
It's about to like buy a motorcycle and like grow that out.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're seeing little badges next to people's emojis, it's because they're getting correct answer streaks. So the more questions you get in a row, the more bonus points you get added to your account, which means you have an advantage getting prepared for next week's Super Game. What are your feelings on High School Musical? Pro or not pro?
Bad at it, because when I was a boy, I thought, oh, that's for girls. That's for girls. But the show now, I do need to look at it through a new lens. I need to be open for once about it. That aside, I was so masculine when I was an 8-year-old. I couldn't. There's no way I could.
Too much of a man. Too much of a man.
Yeah.
See, my emo version was that it's for preps, so same exact energy.
That's a good dodge. Yeah.
Same
Anything to
exact
be,
energy, different context.
anything to be counterculture.
Yeah, I just got to be edgy. That's it. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
exactly. Oh, in the mid 2000s, that was it. That was the gold.
Yeah, before my mom drives me to the mall to buy some Skull t-shirts.
Yeah,
That's edgy.
exactly.
Loving this holiday armadillo thumbnail. Classic. We were talking about this earlier. It's like we have to be kind of have some grace with like date ranges if we're categorizing something as 90s or 2000s.
Right.
Like Friends is like firmly, I think, considered a 90s show, but they had like 4
Right.
seasons in the 2000s.
In the 2000s, yeah, totally. No, I remember it being on.
Great movie, Lost in Translation. And I'll just point out that Smashing has just taken the lead over Rebecca, though it's not over till it's over, but good job, my friend. Jinbo, not far behind. I think Rebecca's got like 1 point on them. Rebecca's got me holding my breath, man.
She's gaining on him.
Yeah, I love it. See, Twilight was another one that I tried to get into at the time because like everybody was all over it, but I just never quite like connected with it that much.
Right. You think being, emo, it would have been right up your alley, but
it seems like a natural fit, but
yeah.
Too mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's always a reason to not like the popular thing, and it's always made up.
Yeah.
All right, we got 5 questions left. What was the logo of MSN Messenger? This was my life for several years.
Yeah. This one I can confidently answer, finally.
Yeah. Correct. What was named Toy of the Year in 2000? Who's the authoritative body on that, do you think? There's like a council in Switzerland that decides what Toy of the Year is.
Who decides what the best one is? Yeah. Oh wow, I thought I was confident in that one. I was not. I did not get that right. That's
what did you guess?
I thought Tickle Me Elmo. I think that's a different year though. Yeah, I really did.
Yeah, and are you on the council?
I lobby for the council.
Yeah.
I give them money.
They haven't accepted my membership yet.
Yeah.
But
I try to sway the vote to my favorite toys.
Yeah, right. All right. When was the original Napster officially taken offline? This one was a bit before my time.
Oops, I thought this was LimeWire. Oops, I saw the lime.
The misleading, the lime.
Yeah, Napster. LimeWire was my time. Napster now. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Last question. What year was the iPod released?
These are actually tough.
I miss my iPod.
Me too.
Rest in peace.
Oh, we have our boring phones that do everything.
Every single thing.
Yeah.
That are better than anything that's ever existed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great game, everybody. Great game. Where did you, how did you do in the end?
41st place.
Okay.
Let's see how many people were playing. Okay. Not quite middle of the pack.
We're on the lower end of middle.
On the lower end of the middle. I'm not the last guy where everyone's pity clapping me, at least.
That's
no
true.
offense to last person. I'll give you.
Yeah, you also don't get a pity clap. You don't get $100 or a pity clap.
Yeah. It's kind of a win-win, a little bit. Not really.
I will give a shout out to our #1 player today, Smashing, who is finishing the game with 518 points. Brilliant job. Kicking off their weekend with a $100 cash prize. Also, shout out to Rebecca, our very own Rebecca Brayton, coming in at 2nd place. Lucas, Jinbo, Merks, and Tim McGosland. Thank you for joining, everybody. Well done.
Awesome stuff.
And thank you, Nick. This was an absolute blast. I hope to have you on the show again.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Such a pleasure. So everybody, keep playing our daily trivia challenges every single day, 3 p.m. Eastern. There's a different challenge, different topic every day. Friday afternoon, we have our $100 super game. So make sure you're racking up those mojo points so you can come hang out with us again. And everybody go check out Slow Start on YouTube. Absolutely awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.